I didn't do the countdown today, so we're just on. Boom. Ready? Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fade to us.
Yay! It was
Just
very
like that.
impressive start.
Mm-hmm.
Just all in all of a sudden.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
It's early for me. This time change business, not my favorite.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Maybe I should be the one changing times because I'm up 4:30 every day. It doesn't matter anymore. What is sleep?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So in the Tuesdays are always really busy because podcasts go up and there's Q&As and all this stuff. And so I just feel like it's a bit of a midweek marathon, keeping up with all the things.
Yeah.
But we're here. We do have questions to answer today that are the ones that I couldn't answer on Instagram yesterday. And we have fewer than normal, so it won't take us as long to get through them.
I don't think you should say that. I don't think you should lead with that because I think you put that out into the universe and then something's going to happen and this is going to be the longest stream yet. So maybe don't.
We can expand on them if we have more time. No, but some weeks we have so many, and then other weeks it just depends on what people are up to and if they're busy or whatever. So clearly very busy with St. Patrick's Day.
Or spring break.
St. Patrick's Day. I can't hear you. No audio.
Sorry, I went to move my mic and I hit the button.
Mm-hmm. Yesterday, I recorded a 30-minute YouTube video using the mic, and when I sat down to edit it, no audio.
The buttons are kind of hidden on these ones.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't take anything to push it. But when we're together, we can tell each other, hey, you're muted. But when you're by yourself recording a YouTube video, silence.
Can't tell.
Yes. So I did re-record it, and I'm editing it today. So progress. Just had to get through a little frustration there. All right, so we have some questions today. As usual, I want to start with the miscellaneous ones, and then we'll move into some of the other more specific categories. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, let's start with, it's Iger's last day as CEO. I love what he has done to the parks. How do you feel on tomorrow?
I'm excited, eager. I think he's the right kind of person for the job. So
he's very familiar to all of us. And when his CEO announcement was made, a lot of us posted pictures, videos of him because we've all just encountered him so much. He's very involved.
Accessible.
I do think that he, the last guy that was appointed to succeed Iger, we didn't have these feelings about. So, hopefully, I think he has a better personality for the job.
Yeah, I think he clearly loves the parks and he understands the whole guest experience. So I do think he's going to be a good fit, hopefully.
Yeah, and I get the feeling he's going to want to make his mark. So it's like, okay, let's go ahead and make some big changes, and then it'll be credited to his reign. Been watching The Crown. Everything's about
reigning,
yeah,
legacy.
A flying home from Disney out of Lakeland. Have you heard of people's experiences there? I know nothing about Lakeland.
I don't either. I think there's just one airline out of there, though.
Yeah. It says Lakeland International Airport, though. It's international. And this is an opportunity for us to learn, isn't it? Because I've never heard of this one. Oh, it's that. How do you pronounce it? Avelo airline. They are the ones that fly out of there. We only ever hear about Sanford. Like if we're not talking about like Orlando International Airport, we are talking about Sanford usually. But Lakeland looks like it's just for this one airline. And how far away is it? It is between Tampa and Orlando. So just kind of right in the middle there.
I knew that. I think the only downside to airports like that outside of the experience is usually better because it's smaller and it's easier to navigate and you don't have to fight as many people, is that when you have an airport that has limited number of airlines flying, if there's any issues with your
Hmm.
flight, especially if it's an airline that I'm guessing this one doesn't have a bunch of daily flights, you might be stuck for a while. Like you might have to wait a while until the next flight is available. But it's also a great way to save money. So as long as it makes sense to rent the car in addition to drive, to get to Disney World or
Hmm.
however whatever your transportation of choice is, then
Yeah. And
it's
with
a good
flights being
option.
so expensive, I'm going to look more into that airport, but we have no experience with it. So, do you have a travel pillow to recommend? I wish.
And Christine just said that she flies it out of Charlotte and Connecticut, and it's been a great experience. So,
Okay. Oh, she flies the airline.
hmm
So the airline's a good experience. We need to look more
yeah,
into the airport, but good to know, Christine. Do you have a travel pillow to recommend? I buy whatever is at the airport.
because you forget yours.
Well, so, I mean, I have one that I've been using for a while,
Yeah.
but
I like the infinity ones because I like the ability to, I never know what to do with my arms on airplane. And so I like to be able to wrap it around my neck. And I basically look like I'm choking myself out. And then I twist it and I get my arms inside of it and I just kind of hang my arms from my neck. It sounds weird, but it works. And that way I don't have to worry about, crossing my arms like this or whatever. It feels better. So I don't have to, I can use it for support for my arms, my shoulders, and my neck.
mhm. Okay. We have some general questions that are about Disney World. When do you think dates for Halloween party will be announced? How early in August are the party dates?
Um, usually ish, aren't they usually like May-ish? They used to be earlier. They used to be April, and now I think the last couple years they've been in May.
3 out of
So
the last 4 years, they have been in May.
in May, okay. So May, and then the parties are usually start mid-August. I think one year recently they started super early, um, like the
Yes,
first
they
or
did.
second week of like August 8th or 9th or something. It was insanely early. But since then, I think it's been more like August 15th, August 18th-ish around there.
Yeah, last year, this was our calendar for last year. It was August 15th.
Mm,
And if they follow the same date structure, which is
mhm.
that in August they'll have Friday, Sunday, Tuesday, then I expect it'll probably be a similar thing this year.
Yeah,
But honestly, I don't understand. I'm just not thinking about Halloween in August.
me neither.
And I'm always surprised that there are people there.
Yeah, but if you think of it from Disney side, it's a slower time of the year and they're able to sell 2 tickets on one day. So, like, people are going to the parks during the day and then they're selling another ticket to go back to that same park. So they
Hmm.
it's a decent way to make some revenue for them.
Hmm. Memorial Day week trips. I've looked at the crowd calendar. We will see you there after, right after Memorial Day.
Yeah, and Memorial Day used to be when you and I used when we were doing like bi-yearly family trips. That weekend was when we would usually head out or go to Disney World. It's not a bad time at all. Not everywhere is out of school yet, so you don't have the entire country out of school. Um, the weather is hotter, of course, than it is going to be during earlier in the year, but it's not super terrible. It's not July or August levels.
But there is a lot of stuff starting around
Mhm.
then, May 26th. And so that's something to be aware of. That's why we're going.
Mhm.
So those sort of things can be busier
Yeah,
because there's lots of people wanting to try whatever is new
the
or
new
new
thing.
or newly reopened. Do you think the Halloween party is worth it or just do a Magic Kingdom day?
I mean,
It depends.
yeah, are you going for the attractions or do you want to do the Halloween exclusive things? Because it's the Halloween party is not a good use of time to ride the rides. So if you're only doing one Magic Kingdom day and your goal is to ride rides, I wouldn't make the Halloween party be your Magic Kingdom day. Um, but if you're looking for something different or you're big into Halloween and you also have time at Magic Kingdom or you don't care about the rides themselves, then yeah.
Yeah. I I would agree. It's like I would say you have if you're not already like super familiar with like the regular offerings at Magic Kingdom, I would just do regular Magic Kingdom
Yeah.
because Halloween party is going to be something totally different. Okay. Let's do the next one, which is do kids still take those autograph books to have the autographs signed? They do.
Yes.
I have a whole article, but I brought it up because I wanted to show that there's other things if you don't want to do the books.
Mhm.
Like one of our favorites we've seen was this backpack where somebody was having like a Sharpie signature on all of their meats. Also love the photo mats because then you can just frame a trip photo with all the signatures on it. I also love when people get the books. This person made a book.
Yeah.
I like when people get the like character books and then they just find the
Yes.
page with the character on it. But there's all kinds of fun ideas. But character autograph books still a thing.
Yeah. Very popular still.
Is the week after Easter usually a little less crowded than the week before? Sometimes.
Yes. Um, but it's not, and I do think it tends to be a little bit less busy, especially when Easter is later, but it's not like it's a sudden drop off either. Um, I think the further away you get from Easter, either direction, the better it gets.
There was a year when we did a crowd calendar and we predicted that the week before would be busy and the week after would not. And that was very specific to that year
Mm-hmm.
because we were like, I don't know, none of the schools seem to be have off, whatever. And we got so much pushback from people being like, why does everybody else say it's going to be busy?
Hmm.
Why are you saying it's not? And it's like, well, because we have no evidence that it's going to be busy. And we were right.
Yeah.
We were right. But that was a special circumstance. But in general, it's pretty busy. So
Yeah.
on the crowd calendar here, you can see Easter is the 5th, and we have the week before red, the week after red.
Hmm.
So in general, both busy. But if it wasn't, we would not mark it that way. Best things to do for littles in Disney Springs. Well, there are some fun stuff like the Lego store if they're into Lego.
Hmm.
And you can make mini figurines there, which a lot of people like as a souvenir.
Hmm.
There's also, what else?
Like Goofy Candy
Mm-hmm.
Company. I think that one's super fun. Um, Disney Springs being primarily like it's like a outdoor mall with some entertainment things. I wouldn't overthink it too much. There's things as simple as like watching the amphicars,
Mm-hmm.
or even doing that if that's something that your family's interested in. Picking out a souvenir, like World of Disney is huge. If you want to brave it, it can get kind of busy, but it's also fun. It can be a good, like, this is where you're going to spend your souvenir money kind of deal because it has so much stuff from the parks. Sometimes there's entertainment during the summer, especially for Cool Kid Summer. There's going to be some entertainment on one of the stages there. So that's an option. So, yeah.
If your little one's into dinosaurs, there's the
Mhm.
T-Rex Cafe, which some kids like.
Mhm.
So, you know, fastest way to find out if a ride is unexpectedly down at early entry.
My Disney experience
Mm-hmm.
inside the app.
Check the app. If you are, this is good advice for any time of day. If you're crisscrossing a park to go to a ride, check the app, see if it's marked as down so you don't waste your time.
Yeah, or your steps.
Yes, don't waste your steps. Let's do some resort questions. Staying at a different resort than the friends we are going with, can we share pools? We're all on site. Officially, no.
Mm-mm. No, there's a few resorts that are allowed to share, like the All Stars, Port Orleans, Riverside, Port Orleans, French Quarter, but in general, no. You pool hopping is and not allowed?
I will say unofficially, the quiet pools are going to be much easier than the main pools because they're not checking IDs for quiet pools.
Mm-hmm.
Just some of the main pools will check to make sure you're a guest,
And especially Stormalong Bay.
especially, yes, at the beach club. How was the monorail for rope drop at the Polynesian? Debating between that or walking that or walk from the Contemporary. So, do you think this is a question about if they should stay at the Polynesian or the Contemporary, or is it that they're staying at the Polynesian and they
I don't
are
know.
just
I'm confused as to how, because those resorts are kind of far apart.
Polynesian and Contemporary?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just assume they're
So
choosing between the resorts.
yes. I don't think you can ever beat the ability to have complete control over your arrival time by being able to walk.
Mhm.
So that I think is a huge factor. But that being said, if you're going to all four parks, Magic Kingdom is one park out of all four,
Mhm.
and choosing it just for that reason for one day out of, however many days you're spending in the parks, I would then go for the aesthetic of which resort appeals to you more versus how easy it is to get to Magic Kingdom, because the difference in degree of difficulty versus getting on the monorail or walking from the Contemporary is not worth, I think, the sacrifice of not being happy for your entire trip because of you don't like the aesthetic of the resort that you chose.
I would also like to throw in that there is another option, which is that you can walk from the Polynesian. It's not
Mhm.
quick. It's not quick. I mean, it
Mm-mm.
might take you 20 minutes or so, but
Mhm.
you can walk. Is it worth going to Animal Kingdom Lodge to see the savannah if we're already going to Animal Kingdom, the park, later in the trip? I mean, I wouldn't go out of my way to go to Animal Kingdom
Mm-mm.
Lodge just for the savannah views.
No, um, me neither. But if you just want something to do outside of the parks, or you are going for a meal, I think there's, things you could tack onto it to maybe make it better, but it's not, I don't think it's worth it to go there just to see. I mean, that part is the same, like the same
Yeah.
as what you'd see over at Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, I would only do it if you had other things going on at Animal Kingdom
Mhm.
Lodge. But otherwise, don't worry about it. When does Fort Wilderness get totes decked out for Halloween?
I like totes decked out. Well, um, party started in August. I think people start getting a little more serious about decorating into September. And then with the peak of it being those that week around around Halloween, I would even say like the 2 weeks before. Like I would say that would be peak.
Which is also why it is sold out so far in advance, too, because people
Mhm.
get really passionate about being there during that time.
Yes, just keep in mind though that the closer you get to Halloween, the less likely you are to be able to access the resort if you're not staying there. And it's not easy to go see the decorations if you're not staying there because you really do need a golf cart.
You need a golf cart, and to get a golf cart, you have to be staying there. Yes.
Mhm.
How is the Mara quick service at, or Mara quick service at Animal Kingdom Lodge? I mean, all the food at Animal Kingdom Lodge is good.
Mhm.
It's one of the perks.
And I think it's like a nice mix of adventurous and safe. So you've got, some safe options if you have somebody who is a little bit more choosy in what they want to eat, but there's also some things that you're not going to find at other resorts. And they have
Mhm.
zebra domes, I think.
Do they?
I think so.
That's awesome. I did not realize they had them there. But
Maybe I made it up.
no, maybe you didn't. And that's really exciting. Do you know if you can walk from All Star Music to the McDonald's? You can. It's about half mile,
Hmm.
and there's a sidewalk. We have lots of memories at that McDonald's.
Yes, we do. Yeah. It's not too difficult to get there. It is outside of like the gate area because all the all-stars are behind one central gate, and it's outside of that, but it's not too far outside of that.
Mm-mm. We just have one lightning lane question, which is nuts because I think last week we had 20.
Hmm.
I'm park copying. Do you have to make lightning lane multi-pass for the first park or can you just do the second?
You do it for whichever park you pick.
Whichever one you want to pre-book lightning lanes in.
Hmm.
That is the rule. Now we have some specific park related questions. Ideas for 8-year-old boy plus dad to do while sister does boobity bobbity. Dad doesn't do coasters.
Dad doesn't do coasters. Same, Dad.
You do though.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
sometimes. Um, there's the pirate adventure that's still going on at Magic Kingdom. That can be something that's kind of fun, where it's kind of an interactive thing. You go and pick up a map, and there's different interactive elements that react. You kind of follow the treasure. So there's something like that. I would, lean into whatever the sun is into.
Exactly.
There's packages at Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique that the sun might be interested in, but there's also I would lean into what they like.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm like, obviously the girl wants to do baby by boutique. What
Uh-huh.
does the boy want to do?
Yeah,
What's his
what's his
interests?
thing?
hmm Epcot, we have lots of Epcots. Arriving Friday, going to Epcot in the evening, staying at Beach Club. Itinerary with kids 9, 6, and 4. That's difficult. General questions are sort of difficult because what do you mean? Do you mean rides? Do you mean food?
Yeah. I will say if you're entering in from Beach Club, you're going through the International Gateway, you're
hmm
going to the World Showcase. The later in the evening you get, the busier the World Showcase seems to be, especially the closer you get to fireworks time, like things can get, it just gets busy. So if you're looking for something that's a little less busy, head towards the front of the park.
Mm. Yeah, or just, depending on what time you get there, you might
Yeah, just lean into that.
just do the World Showcase.
Hmm.
Maybe find some food, watch fireworks, and that's it. For Flower and Garden Festival, is it better to go the first day or the second day in terms of crowds? I did clarify with this person that they're talking about next year. They're not
Mm.
they're not thinking that they're going to be there the first or second day this year.
This year.
Yeah, and the rides really aren't that affected. It's just the booths.
Yes, and I mean, I was there the first day this year, and those first few hours when everybody else is focused on the rides, were lovely. It was not bad at all. It did get busier the later in the day that we went, but there were many booths for a large chunk of the time when there were one or two people in line, and that was it, or no people in line. So don't be scared off, especially if you're committed to rope dropping the booths and doing that and not focusing so much on the rides.
Yeah, we've been there many times when it was the first day. No problem. Tepanito, 7:50 p.m. when we'll be done before fireworks are over and the Skyliner is backed up. So I'm assuming park closes 9 p.m.
Hmm.
and they're having dinner at 7:50. I mean, depends how quick they sit you down, but I would say the fireworks will probably be still going on while you're exiting.
Yeah.
I think you might be okay. Maybe check in a little early and see if they can get you seated a little before 7:50. Best place to have special occasion drinks in or near Epcot, staying at Beach Club. Abracadabra.
Yeah, that one's a great one. Or GO82.
Yeah, if you're going in Epcot, GO82, that's great. Or if you want to stay out on the boardwalk area, Abracadabra.
Yes, those are like, I forgot about Abracadabra. That one's a good one too.
Is Flower and Garden still nice at the end of May?
Yes.
I would argue it's nicer in some
Uh-huh.
ways because the flowers have grown in. Have you seen how anemic they are at the beginning?
Yes, sometimes they are a little sparser, and then they fill in, and then Disney is very diligent about going in and swapping things out when it needs to be, replacing things that uh are look a little worse for the wear, and they'll continue to do that from the beginning of the festival through the very last day of the festival so that hopefully the guest experience is, the same no matter when you go.
Okay, we have a few Disneyland questions and DCL, and then that will be it for today. Disney World people headed to Disneyland for spring break. Top tips, advice. There was so little to plan. That last sentence is such a Disney World thing to say.
Uh-huh.
You and I have been to Disneyland with groups of people, and many of them were first timers. Like they're Disney World people, they're going the first time, and it's always so interesting to watch because they're like, "What should I be doing?" And we're like, "Nothing. There's nothing else to do."
Yeah.
So, you know, but my top tip is just because something has the same name as Disney World, don't skip it.
Mm-hmm.
That's my top tip.
Yes. Why?
Because they're better. So, for
Mm-hmm.
instance, just because it's called Pirates of the Caribbean doesn't mean it's the same. The
Mm-mm.
one in California, almost all the things that have the same name are better in California.
Yes. And I would agree with that 100%.
Yes. And also just accept that it's going to be easier.
Yeah.
It's true. Okay. Tips for Disneyland over Easter. We don't do Disneyland to this degree usually. So I don't know. We haven't been there during Easter, right?
No.
Okay. I didn't know if you had anything. I was trying to remember if you'd been there on Easter.
Nope.
We usually recommend magicaltourguide.com for Disneyland information that's kind of similar to what we provide. So if you want to go there, you can see what she has to say. Another Disneyland upgrade to Park Hopper or buy Lightning Lane Multi-Pass during spring break. This is such a hard question
Yeah.
because I cannot imagine doing Disneyland without a hopper. Like the parks are so close together, and
They're right there.
most people just go back and forth. Like I did a trip report on the podcast recently where they literally every day, like
Mm-hmm.
we're going to start a California Adventure, go to Disneyland. We're going to start Disneyland, go to California Adventure. Like I don't know.
It's very easy to do. It's if you've never been before, you will be shocked at how close those two parks are and how easy it is to walk between the two. It's just a couple minute walk, like literally a couple minute walk between the two parks. So I think I would probably go with the park hopper and just try to tour smartly. Lightning Lane Multipass, there's not as many attractions there that use it, and they do have a lot of single rider lines. So I would probably go for that and have the park hoppers.
And if you're a rope dropper, that is going to work really well because there's not as many people rope dropping out there
Mhm.
as there is at Disney World. So, yeah, ideally have both, but
Mhm.
if you're going to pick one, I think the park hopper is a no-brainer. I'm
Mhm.
surprised they sell a single park tickets out there. Like it's just so it would be so strange not to be able to go into both. And then finally, a DCL question: best tips for a first-time Disney cruise. So my biggest job task today is to edit a video that I filmed about this, which is a DCL primer for Disney World people. So I'm using Disney World as a reference to
Mhm.
explain how Disney Cruise works. So I would say stay tuned because I should be hitting publish on that today or tomorrow. Okay, let's go to some of the comments. Good morning, Christine. She says, "Yay, questions!" But also, Christine was the one who said she flew
Mhm.
that airline, Avalo, and it was a good experience. Okay, Jessica, do I need to bring a stroller for our cruise? Going to Castaway and Lookout. Ours will be a young 5-year-old who likes a stroller at the zoo. I would definitely bring an umbrella
Mhm.
stroller.
Yeah, agreed.
It's a lot of walking. And on our last cruise, I took a picture of the back of an umbrella stroller while we were like eating lunch or something just to show people, like, hey, this is a thing that people do. I don't think you would regret that at
Mm-mm.
all. Mark says for littles at Disney Springs, there's a bracelet making shop, the Something Project.
The little word project.
Okay. Oh, Something Project, little word project. Got it. Do you know how the Lego minifig build works at Disney Springs? How many minifigs do you build per appointment? I have 4 kids. I don't know if we need 4 appointments. So I've heard different things about this, and parents have said that they made separate appointments, and then when they got there, they were told you only need 1,
Mm-hmm.
and each child makes 1.
Yes, that was my understanding too.
Yeah. So that is what we know to be true. And then Kelsey says, as far as the Lego minifig booking, in my case, it showed me times in daylight time and not Disney Eastern time. If anybody's used why their booking time is different than the email. Okay, let me see. So I'm on the page. If you aren't familiar, you go to the Lego. Let me share it. I'm not actually sharing it, am I?
Mm-mm.
There we go. Okay. You go to the Lego site and you select a time. And it doesn't say a time zone right there. And then it says Eastern time right here. And I'm not in Eastern time. I'm in Mountain time in the US. So that one did say Eastern time. But isn't that interesting?
That is very interesting.
Okay. So good to know that could happen, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Jessica mentioned the pirate scavenger hunt, which was something you had suggested for what a kid could do at Magic Kingdom. Okay. We did it.
Is that a record?
Yes, but one week you might have 20 questions, well, the next 200.
220.
And we just go with it, whatever people are into. So we will be back tomorrow morning to talk about any news that comes up today and anything else that is on our mind. So we will see you then.
Bye.